Thank you, Madam Speaker. So, at the press conference on Monday, the Premier acknowledged that the latest Francophone sector school assessment results, which the Education Minister had said was a key factor in the government expansion of a professional development pilot project into the Anglophone sector, didn't show the results and the improvements that were indicated. And the Education Minister eventually admitted that the government didn't have any data or evidence to connect the pilot with the better results. But the province is forging on and marching. So, if there is no data and evidence to exist and to support the decision, my question to the Premier, or the Minister of Education, pardon me, now that we're into term 1 and the pilot project apparently still needs digging into numbers that are needed, why is this happening? Empirical data, it says that you find, get it, then inform decision. You don't make a decision and then get the data. So what are we doing about the decision?
I
recognize the Minister for Education.
And thank you to the member opposite for the opportunity to talk about the exciting pilot that we have launched in the Anglophone sector to make sure that teachers have the time to collaborate, work together, and hone in on their trade to be able to provide the best quality education to our students. This government is very committed to teacher retention, recruitment, and also academic success of students. And the system has asked for this, the opportunity to work together and to collaborate and to be able to increase their knowledge on literacy and numeracy to then transmit it to students. So, on the data front, we heard from the Francophone sector that they loved it and it went well. We had preliminary data that gave us the confidence to try a pilot on the Anglophone side. And
I recognize a member for Condé-Dial, St. John, Lornville.
Okay, thank you. So, listen, it's this. The question really comes down to, does a reduction in instructional time hurt student learning or doesn't it? So the incongruity. Cancelling class twice a month is viewed as an investment in success and achievement, but days lost because of a possible snow day is seen as a calamity that needs to be avoided. And if snow days could be reshaped as a potential virtual PD session, as the Minister has suggested, then what is the reasoning for cancelling classes on alternate Fridays at all? If there is a potential of virtual PD, then rethink the schedule whereby this could happen without a schedule, without the week being disrupted. So my question to the Minister of Education, how will the government ensure that students in pilot schools are not disadvantaged by instructional time? What supports are in place for students with special needs or those who rely on school for stability and routine? And how will this affect rural or low-income families who may not have access to childcare on Fridays? Will the province subsidize or coordinate that care?
Je reconnais la ministre de l'Éducation.
Recognize the Minister for Education.
An important piece in this pilot project is going to be to evaluate and measure the outcomes and the results. That's the data that is going to be able to guide us in moving forward. We're also reflecting on how can we better support students to learn beyond the classrooms. And that's an important piece here. And on these days, we're partnering with the McKenna Institute on developing really innovative material for virtual learning and a whole lot of different opportunities to connect with partners to learn beyond the classroom.
I recognize a member for Condé-Dial, St. John, Lornville.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There is data that suggests adding PD days is potentially harmful to children and teens, and that consists of, and that professional learning communities, apparently which was the pedagogy 20 years ago, holds more promise for sustainable results. The problem with trying to draw a correlation between professional development days and better student testing is that it doesn't consider the data about the impact of missed instructional time. The research on 4-day school week shows that it has a negative effect unless it is minimized by adding 50 minutes to the school day or 10 minutes for secondary courses in schools. To the Minister of Education, what accountability mechanisms are in place to ensure days are improving teacher practice? Will the Department of Education release interim reports during the pilot year? And how is this being funded? Through allocation or new spending? And what programs or services, if any, are being deprioritized?
I recognize the Minister of Education.
Madam Speaker, as I mentioned yesterday, I visited many different schools in these past couple of weeks, and I've been engaging with teachers at different levels, and we were talking about what they've been doing on PD days. I actually was there on these Fridays to witness the beautiful work that's being done. On that front, I have a testimonial from a teacher saying, I have been able to have dedicated time to interact and problem solve with experts in specific subject areas, math, literacy subject coordinators and leads, to enhance my knowledge and understanding of the holistic curriculum. The impact on student learning is direct and immediate.